and you have heard us say that we are taking preparations for whichever path Vladimir Putin chooses.
I get that, but I mean, is the decision not to describe this as imminent based on what President Putin said yesterday, or is it based on something else? What is it based on? Or is it based on the complaints from the Ukrainians that you're getting people stoked up and put into a panic? Why?
Our language, Matt, is always calibrated to what we're seeing. What we've seen.
So it's less imminent now than it was yesterday.
I think you were reading far too much into what you may have heard. Humayra.
Right.
So I am actually going to follow up a little bit on that, maybe from a slightly different angle. So you guys were waiting for Putin's remarks yesterday. Obviously, you've monitored it very closely, where he basically blamed the West. And you just said that there is one person and he still hasn't made up his mind yet. So after watching Putin yesterday, the United States still thinks that he still has not made the decision to invade or not. Is that correct?
Our assessment has not changed. We've made the point, I alluded to this yesterday, that criminologists in this country and around the world are going to parse every single syllable, every word, every utterance, every sentence that came out of Putin's mouth. If you were to do so, you could find reasons for optimism, you could find reasons for pessimism. For our part, we are not optimistic, neither are we pessimistic. We're clear-eyed about the stakes. We're resolute in our determination to engage in diplomacy if we have a good faith partner on the other side, doing so in tandem with our partners and allies, just as we pursue simultaneously that path of defense and deterrence.
So indulge me a little bit more. His comments were pretty defiant, and like he accused the West of trying to lure him into war. You said we're not pessimistic, we're not optimistic. Watching that, did those comments make you a little bit more hopeful about the diplomatic path? I mean, you must have like swung one way or the other. You can't be like, it cannot have happened right in the middle.
I'm just not in a position to provide color commentary of the Russian president's remarks.
Did you say that people are in this town are not parsing? So they are parsing every single word, syllable.
I assume that is the case.
So we've gone back to the Soviet reviewing stand school of analysis.
I assume you're probably in fact are speaking to some of these people. I know some of you in this room are. But look, Humayra, this is the point. There are people here to acknowledge who are watching very closely and listening very closely to what the Russians are saying. We are in the position of knowing something that was confirmed in the Secretary's call with Foreign Minister Lavrov yesterday, that the Russians are preparing a written response to our non-paper. That is a response that will be reviewed and presumably approved by President Putin. That is a response that we assume will convey in detail, in writing, in specific language, specifically where the Russians are, what they are willing to engage in, what for them seems like a viable path, what doors may be closed. It remains our hope, as Foreign Minister Lavrov seemed to indicate yesterday, that there will be an opportunity following the receipt of that Russian response for further diplomatic engagement. We don't yet know the form. We don't yet know the timing. What we do know is that any further diplomatic engagement, which we hope occurs, will be done for our part in the closest of coordination with partners and allies. We hope it is done in good faith by the Russian Federation, but we'll be in a position to judge, and we'll be able to judge based primarily on one criterion, and that is if it takes place in a broader context of de-escalation. We can talk. There are no preconditions to talking, but this diplomacy is not going to go anywhere. It is not going to address our security concerns. It is not going to address the concerns of the transatlantic community, that is to say our allies and partners on the other side of the Atlantic, and it won't address the stated concerns of the Russian Federation if it doesn't take place in this broader context of de-escalation.